Hello everyone, and welcome to another live stream. I'm Sorskoot, and today we're going to continue working on our WebXR VR horror game in a Christmas theme. And there's a lot of small things that still need to be done. It's far from being a game, but slowly but surely we get somewhere. So I'm running in Wonderland, and last stream we added grabbing things, for example this nutcracker over a distance, and I want to slightly continue there. One thing I want to do, one of the puzzles actually in the game, is taking around the Christmas tree. So we have the Christmas tree. I think music is a bit loud now. 1 second. That's better. Around the Christmas tree and this little Christmas tree. And the idea is that you have to rotate each segment and match it up in some order. My idea was to highlight 4 objects in the Christmas tree. So the idea of the game is that everything is black and white, except for something that is happening at that moment. Giving a hint or anything that's of interest will turn red, and slowly the red takes you through the game. That's basically the idea. So what I want to do is highlight a few objects red in the tree, and you need to rotate the objects on the Christmas tree here to make them match. And if you manage to do that, that's the first puzzle. But one of the rings will be missing. So you have to find that ring first. Now it's not a really complicated puzzle. I'm just going to put it in the drawer right here. But therefore, I need to create a script to open and close drawers. And that's what I want to do today. I'm thinking of doing it the easy way for now. Ideally, I want to be able to grab it and pull it and make it sliding attached to your hand. But since this is a Christmas game and Christmas is in a little over 2 weeks, I cannot continue working on this game in January and in February and throughout. Maybe I do throughout the year, but I probably won't be working on it after Christmas. So the game needs to be finished. So I'm going to take some shortcuts here. So when you click the drawer, it should open a certain amount, and when you click it again, it should close. We need to add a script for that, and that's what we're going to work on today. If you have any questions, feel free to add them in chat. And if you happen to watch this in the future, and you have a question, then feel free to write it down in the comments. I will read them, and I will respond. And maybe I'll write a tutorial or do a video about the specific questions. So let's get into this. Now, what I did before the stream was separating things out. So this is my, I'm still on face orientation. So this is the model in Blender. And this cabinet, or what it is, did not have drawers. It had only the front, so I created a drawer from it. And now it's just a simple drawer. But the faces were flipped, so I turned on the face orientation here so you can see if anything is red here, then the faces are in the wrong direction. I think, yeah, see, there are some faces, I don't know why. Why are these faces flipped? So there is some stuff not going... Oh, interesting. I noticed there was a chip missing in the chair, but apparently there were some faces flipped there. Well, at some point we need to fix that, otherwise we'll leave it. So yeah, that's basically the model in Blender. And I exported it and placed the drawers right here. So now I can just create something. Now what I want to do is add a second object to this. And what we're going to do is store the original position. When we click this, move it to the second position, like here. And then when you click it again, we move it back to original position. So I'm going to add that object right here. It's just an empty object, but this is the target. And let's just put it right about here. So we're just going to move from here to here. Now I think this will go wrong. Let's just make sure. Oh, I know what's happening. This is scaled. I was like, wait, it's 41 meters. That's a lot. But it's not 41 meters. It's actually 40 centimeters. Because that mesh is scaled. We can do it the other way around. Yes, let's do it differently. Let's add an empty object. Let's copy this position to that empty object. It's a nice tip for anyone that's working with Wonderland. When you hover over, for example, the XYZ here, or any value, when you hover over it, you're not selecting. If you select it, you can just copy the text. But if you hover above it, you hit Ctrl-C, you go to another object, and let's reset this, and you hover over it again, and you do Ctrl-V, you paste all the values in there. Really handy. Now it's actually happening. Let me. It's actually just using JSON under the covers. Something you can keep in mind if you want to get freaky with things. It's just even these things. If you just copy it, just copy. It's just JSON. But it's very handy for copying values like this. Just Ctrl-C, Ctrl-V, one value to another. So I've decided to make it a bit more Christmassy during the stream. I did not add a lot of Christmassy on this view, but there are some Christmas type music playing. So we have this drawer. It's in that original position. Let's call this the top drawer, so we know which one it is. There's this one. So now I'm going to move it in there. Position stays the same because it's local now. But now because we copied the position to here, this is now at 0, 0. Now what we can do is add a second object, that empty object, and now we're back in meters again. So now we can say, well, we want to have it 40 centimeters minus 40 centimeters on that X. Let's call this target. So what we now can do is just animate this object to the target. And we just start at 0, 0. We do it to the target. And then when we close it, we move it back. We also need something to click on. Now that's just add the target to the mesh. Is that an idea? I wonder what happens if we add this. Is this going to be... It's not going to be scaled. So I have no idea what the size of this is. I just guessed it. Oh wait, I can probably see it in Blender. Where is it? This one. Oh, the scale is actually... Wait a second. Is everything... Ah. Something messed up here. Wait, if we just do... This would make things a lot easier. So we do apply all transforms. Boom. So now it's not rotated. It's just XYZ. So now if we export the FBX again, just export it to room. Now this is going to mess things up probably because now it's way too small. But if we reset this, it should be... It's now over there. So the position is off now as well. That's too bad. But this would make things a lot easier. I rather have things scaled at 111. Yeah, so this is probably messed up as well. No, this is in the right position. This is messed up. No, this is messed up now as well. How can we fix this? Let's just... reset everything. Let's see. Can we get the position here? Not the absolute position. I have no idea. I'm just going to eyeball it. Let's move this back to the... We redo this in a second. I just want to move these. So now the pivots. Oh, that's the whole thing. The pivots are off. Because I reset everything, the pivots are now set to 0, 0, 0. So they're probably rotated as well in Wonderland. Let's move the pivot back to where I had it. So what I did before... Now I think I only used the top drawer, so the bottom drawer, I think these are still not back-faced, yeah. I copied the drawer over. So we're not doing things with baking lights or all that kinds of crazy things. So the drawers can be the same thing. I just copied it over. We don't even need the bottom one. It's just twice the same match as the top one, which would make things a bit easier. So what I did was I did edge center, pick up the cursor, and then I snapped here to this edge center in the back. That's where I positioned the 3D cursor, and then I said right here origin to 3D cursor. Now the origin, the pivot, is at the back there. And then you can do Shift S, and then you say cursor to world origin. Now the cursor is back there. This is another trick I recently learned. I was always hiding things and unhiding things. But if you are in Blender and you hit the slash key, which is on the numpad right above the 8, you isolate the object or the selected objects, and when you hit it again, you're back at what you had. So you're not hiding anything. You're just switching from the object into isolation mode and back. Really, really handy. Anyway, let's export again. Let's see. I don't see where they... Oh, they are back there now. See, they're rotated. That's probably because this 180... Wait, why can I... Reset. I'm just going to delete one. Place one in the correct spot and then copy it over to the second one, because the second one is exactly the same as the first one. Even with the scripts and everything, it's just exactly the same. So we're just going to add one, and then we're going to add the second one. Now I kind of like that I'm seeing it sticking out here for a second. I'm going to... you know what? I just realized something. We probably only want the collider at the front of the drawer. So we can put something in there. Now the contents of the drawer should be parented to the drawer. So when the drawer moves, the objects that are inside the drawer will just move with it. So that missing ring should be in there. So this collider should only be at the front of the drawer. Let's see, how wide is it? That should be easy to see now. 145. Divided by 2. Probably cannot do this, right? No. That's something you can do in Photoshop or some tools. You can just enter math in here. So 145. 145. I'm going to add that as a feature request. I want to be able to do this and then just divide it by 2. So that is 0.725 probably. What's the height of the drawer? That's probably that 24. So let's do 0.25. It's this one, 0.125. And then the translation. 0.01. It's a bit too high up. It's centered around here, and that's at the top, so it needs to move down a little bit as well. It's probably around there. Now we move it a bit more to the front. Is it sticking out here as well? Yeah. Is it 725 then? No. 3, 4, 5, 6. Is it 8, 9, 8, 1, 2. Yes, it should be a little more like this probably. Can we get away with this? I think we'll leave it at this for now. It's slightly bigger. Yeah, I think that's fine. So when we touch the front of a drawer, we can open it. And now we can just move the drawer back into position. Now, there is a physics body. There was a physics body. Oh, static physics probably. Yeah, right here. This one. I don't know why it's not show. Oh, it's not active. Oh, yeah, we disabled gravity. This one was glitching. It was glitching through the ground. So that's why I removed that. That's why I disabled that physics. Okay. That's fine. So we go back here. This is the top drawer. If we add the target as a child, it will move with the drawer. We can also say, well, we just want it in the z-axis. We can even just hard code it that it just moves a certain distance in the z-axis. That'll be fine. I think we're just going to make it as simple as possible. When you click it, we move it a certain amount in the z direction. And if we click it again, we move it back. So let's add that script. Yes, let's just clear that. I was just trying some stuff. That's all stuff, yes. Let us add a new component. Is it going to be an action? I think we can just use a button trigger. Again. We did it for the grabbing, I think. Yeah. It's just when we need to respond to a button, we use a button trigger. Button trigger is something I made. It's not something that came with Wonderland or whatever. It's just right here. And it's a trigger base. It's just an abstract class over a component to force some things in there. So we have the whole adding of events and removing of events. That's basically what it is. Just adding the hover and down up events. And then removing it. And I can just call override on down, and then I have the on down event. That's it. Nothing too complicated. But now I don't have to write all this crap every time I need to respond to a button. I can just do something very simple. Just handle a button press. So let's do a new file. Let's call this drawer action.ts. I'm going to use my component script. In this game, I'm using override. We don't need anything too special here, but oh wait, we do want to have a couple of properties. I want to float, and this is the distance. And this is 0.4. So this will be the distance that the object moves when it's opening. We're going to do a button trigger. Now at some point we can do sound effects. But I don't have any sound effects in the game whatsoever, so I'm not going to bother with that at this point. We do need to have a private. Private. Is this what we need? We could... I think we need to give it a target position. Or a delta distance. We're doing a start. So when you override things, you might want to have to call the start. Do we anything with start here? Yes, we checked the target cursor. So you need to keep in mind that if you override things, you might need to call the underlying function as well, or method. So we do this dot object dot get position world, and we say this dot original position. We add a property. This is a vec3, and we create it. It's a private. It's funny, I've set the tap distance to 2, but it still keeps doing 4 there. Is that in my... I thought it was in one of these files. It's annoying. Oh well. When I save, it formats the file. Draw action, that's what we're doing. So we get the original position, which is probably 0, 0, but now we're going to override on down. And when on down, that's when we trigger the button. We get a suggestion. This is not what I want. Also, I was thinking... yeah, I don't have my own library in here. So we have... There are a couple of ways you can do a lerp. There is one in... math as well. So if you do vec3 dot lerp, you can lerp a vec3 from one to another. This is basically what we want. We do need another float. Just realize for the speed, and let's call this 1. I don't know. So what do we want this to happen? let's do an update. This is a good suggestion. If this is open, not entirely. Let's think. We need to lerp this. So we need to have a position. Let's call that the temp vec. I think the easiest way to do is to set the target position and then lerp. And lerp will have a value that changes over time. And when it's opening, it's increasing. And when it's not opening, so this is going to be opening, then when it's not opening, it's decreasing. If it is I don't want to keep calculating this when it doesn't need to move. So we can just say it's moving. And when it's not moving, if this not moving, or not this moving, then return. We just ignore the rest of the update if we're not moving. I don't really know what the impact of these kind of things is. But I think it's minimal. I don't think an if is really hurting anything. Another way is deactivating the object, but then we need to split the component in two or something. Okay, so we are moving. We do need to temp vec. That is correct suggestion by Copilot, but I do want to create it here. Is that correct? I think we can do this. Private target position. We can calculate the target position because it is the original position. It is the original position. But we move it a bit. On the z-axis. Or was it minus? Let me check. I think it was minus. Wait. Remove. Yes, it's minus. So we're actually going to move this value now, because I don't think we need to make it more complex than it is. So we're just going to move that value a bit. So we have an original position and the target position, and then we need a temp vector. So we do a const temp vec position. Now, the reason I do it, I do this, I actually don't want it outside. Let's do it inside. Let's do it like this. So these are private, but in JavaScript they're not really private. And this one is private as private can be. This is really, really, really private. But the reason I'm doing it like this, you do not want to create vectors in your update loop. That's just asking for trouble in performance. What's going on? Oh, not much. So now we are moving in one direction or the other direction. We also need a delta value. And that's 0. Oh, equals 0. Oh, we have a delta. This is delta time, actually. Let's call that dt. This is delta distance. It's also a value between 0 and 1. Where 1 is completely open and 0 is completely closed. So when we do lerp, vec3.lerp, lerp will give you, if you pass it a value between 0 and 1, it will give you a value, in this case a is 0, b is 1, and half is exactly halfway between those two vectors. So we do this temp position, where a is this dot original position, b is this target position, and then we use the delta distance. So now we have calculated a new position right here. And now we can say, well, this dot object set position. So now we move it to that position. So every frame we update this slightly based on delta distance. So if we are moving and we are going to open, so if is that opening, then we say yes, like this, but I'm not going to do it like here. I'm going to do it at the end. I'm not going to do it at the end. No, if delta distance is bigger or equal than 1, then the delta distance is 1, so it's exactly open, and moving is false. So we're not moving anymore. Else, we do the exact opposite. We subtract delta time multiplied by the speed. So now it moves the other way when it's 0 or less. Then we set it to 0, and then we say moving is false, so it stopped moving again. So now when we trigger this thing, and the reason I want to do it like this and not wait until we have fully opened it, I want to be able to close it by triggering it again. So if it's moving open and I trigger it again, it should close again. It should never be halfway open. It's either open or closed, and it's moving. And if you close it while it's still moving, then it should close again and not half open. So we do this dot is moving is true, and we say this is opening, not as is open. Exactly. We can actually remove these. We don't need them. In this case, we don't care. Anything else? No, let's clean this up a little bit. We don't need that. So we have a speed, we have a distance, we open it. It's a bit hard coded. If it's rotated 90 degrees, it will not work because we set it like this. What we could do is add a property and use the target of that property. That might be more versatile to use, but I think for now it's fine. Let's see if it's already in here. So we have this drawer. What we need to do is give it a cursor target. It needs a cursor target for the button, so it knows something is happening there. And we have the drawer action. And that has the default settings. Now I have no idea how fast this is. Also, I have gravity turned on, so now when we simulate, the drawer falls down. We don't want to have that happening. And let me check real quick here. This was trigger. We don't need any collisions or whatsoever with the drawer either. We can just set it to trigger. We can just trigger it. That's fine. Doesn't matter at all. Let's see. Do we need anything else? We have the drawer. So now when we simulate, nothing happens. Let's check the nutcracker again here. Oh, it's still in every group. And I think we can even clone this. Move it down there. Call this bottom drawer. Save. Let's quickly check if it even runs. We don't have any errors. Doors are there. Loud music. Of course we want to test this in VR, right? So let's see if the VR works. So that's black right now because nothing is there, but it should turn on. There we go. Oh. Next, I need to quickly start this. So we get a browser window. With an alt tab still open. We go into VR. Let's teleport there. They moved the wrong way. So it's not minus. Let's quickly fix that. Oh, it is minus. We set it to positive. It is minus. It shouldn't matter. We should be able to just set it to minus. There. Oh, let's call this bottom drawer. Minus 40 and this one. Save. Let's quickly switch to VR again. Let's make sure it's refreshed. It is opening. It's a bit slow. Does it work with both hands? No, for some reason everything does not work with the left hand. Interesting. Like this one. You can grab it. There's a bug there. It's flipped if you... But we cannot grab it with the left, so we need to fix that next. There's something wrong with the left collider. Cool. So that's for the drawer. Now let's check. Let's first commit everything to make sure we never lose anything. Let's call this drawers commit and push. Now this game is not open source, unfortunately. I'm using all kinds of assets that are not for free that I bought. So including the music and everything. So I cannot share it. But if you have questions, a lot of the code, by the way, will be open source. I'm using an interaction library and the Fmod library that I'm building at Wonderland, and I'm just using it in the game to just try it out. Those will be available on npm soon, and pretty much all other script library. Check out my GitHub. There is a component library with my own components there that I use in various games. Now let's figure out the reason why we cannot open anything with the left hand, which is weird. So let's see the right hand. Right cursor, collision group 4. Right left, collision group 4. Interesting. Broadcast mode physics, handedness input component. Interesting, there's literally no difference. We're using the default cursor. Let's quickly make sure we can press the start button of the game with the left controller. I mean, then we know that the controller itself works. Oh, that wasn't really necessary. Let's go into VR. So I'm going to... Okay, I cannot even hit the play button with the left controller. So maybe there's something wrong with the button press or something. Button press should not be... It should not do anything with the button itself. So this just handles on down. The button trigger is not doing anything with either left or right. I don't see any reason why it should not handle the left button. Rail left and rail right. The only things different are the objects. There are these, and these are the same. I think this is an example that's still in here. But billboard is just moving something, rotating something to the billboard, and this is to the camera, and this is just a mesh, a plane. There shouldn't be anything that's not working. And these are the same. And target doesn't have any properties. I'm gonna try something. I'm really curious now. So we're gonna do a new project, VR. Let's call this test. This uses a button, and that button has a target. And this has a cursor. This is using this is not using physics, but the collision component. But this has a cursor as well, and this button. So let's just see if this works with the left hand. It doesn't. Huh. Right. Okay. So, I'm not going to fix this in the stream. This is a bug in the component, I think. This is not my code. This is not my... The fact that it's not working in this demo, it is probably a bug in the component itself, with the left controller. Which is weird. No, I'm not going to debug this. I was thinking, well, I could try it on the Quest 2, see if it works there. Maybe there's a difference between the Quest 2 controllers and the Quest 3 controllers. But let's try something else real quick, just as a test. Local device, play. We play in the browser now, right? We have the emulator here, WebXR emulator. So we do VR. Yeah, mute. So we are now in VR. We can move around. Let's see if we can position this controller in such a way. Oh, damn it. There we go. Left controller. Interesting. So it's not even working in the emulator. So there's something wrong with the components, probably. I'm going to debug it next week. During work. I think. Okay, so we have the drawer then. Let's just... How long are we streaming? Almost an hour. I was planning on streaming an hour, but I still got some coffee left. Let's continue for a bit. So let's modify the Christmas tree. And let's modify this Christmas tree. Both of them are in Blender. This one. And this one. Now this one has two materials. I made one red. So it's kind of interesting. There are actually 4 different objects here. 5. There's a candy cane here as well. So for the puzzle, it's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers. And a star. Now the star is here. It's a different star. But if we would just make a ball red, a light red, a candle red, a tree red, and that way add a couple of things, and then we map a couple of these things here as well. You can rotate them and you need to align them. Is this something we can do? Or is it too easy? Now this toy tree is one mesh. It's a mess. Oh man. It doesn't have an inside. Let's just start working on breaking this thing apart first. We need to make this into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 separate parts. Now I don't think we need to have one segment removed. So say we want this segment removed. But we want to rotate them individually as well, so we probably need to make separate objects anyway. Now this one is different. That would save some time. So we have this part. Let's just hide the top part for now. Oh, there's something in here as well. Let's hide that. Okay. We need to strip things apart here. Can we hide those lines? Is it something that is... Oh, here. Yes. I want to keep those. I'm not sure if I need them, but I want to keep them in here for now. So let's go to face mode. So everything except the bottom one is already ending in his cylinder. Yeah, so we should be able to just grab one of these. Now we're missing a few faces in the bottom here. We can handle that. Yeah. Let's go slowly around this. Oh, that's not the right one. Where is it? This one. I think the first one is the hardest. No. I'm making a mess now. Okay. I think this is it. So we do B separate by selection. So now it's a different object, the second ring. So now we can, you know what? I'm just going to hide this section for now. Now at some point I want to extract this centerpiece and just move it down. So that there is a axle in the center. Now we have removed one of those objects, so now it's a bit easier because we can select everything. So the top faces are centered way up here, so we can just select everything here, and now we have that ring selected. So let's hide that one. Almost there. B. I think we can just do this. Let's hide these two for now. Now this one, what are we going to do with you? When we rotate, I don't want to rotate the button. We can rotate anything and everything else. So can we do... Oh wait, I can probably select it like this. Yes, this is another segment. B, there we go. Now we do Alt H. We have everything back. And let's go Alt H here as well. So now we have the whole Christmas tree tree again, but now it's just all separate layers. So now what we can do, if we are inside the game and we're going to add some objects on these, like the tree is decorated, in which we need to align in front. But when we rotate, we can just say rotate around the z-axis, and then we can rotate each part separately. And everything should be closed up. Now one of these is missing. So say, which one am I going to hide? The middle one? So we find it and we find it like this. I think that's fine. Which means we need to take this part and close it up. And then have this part. That's the easiest thing, I guess, because we need to take these two faces and just extrude them on the z-axis, just all the way, on the z-axis all the way down to there. Let's put this back on vertices. In this case, it didn't really matter, but now we have this axis down the center. Cool. Okay, let's take this one. Now I need to think real hard. Let's take these edges. Was there a trick to select all? I think there is. I think I just did. If I extrude, that's not what I need. Can I inset? No. I can do fill, but now the topology is completely messed up. Now I've read something. There's an option somewhere that can fix that. But I forgot where it was. Well, that's useful, yeah. Was it a modifier? Wait, this is new? Why is it like this? Generate. Is it solidify? No, it's not solidify. Solidify is making it thick. There was this trick. Otherwise, I was going to leave it. Not multi-resolution. There was this thing, and then it became a grid, which looked really cool. Ah, damn it! I forgot how to do it. Can I just search for grid? No. Could be that it was even an option or something. It's probably not in these tools. So just hitting F fixes it, but it creates bad topology. Maybe it's just remesh. Probably not. Damn it. No, it's not. It's not something cool like this. Ah, damn it. I wanted to be one of the cool guys. It was such a nice feature. I don't even know what video I saw it in. I'm just going to do one Google. Blender. Fill with grid. Is it just Control F instead of? That's it. This is looks way nicer. Now there was also a way, but it's not. You need to extrude it, but also only extrude it inwards. Is that something else we can do? Is it bevel? No, it's not bevel. What if we do this scale and then look at that. And then we do Control F and then we do grid fill. Now we have only square. We have way too many faces. Who cares? It looks really nice. I'm gonna spend 10 minutes figuring this out, and I'm just going to do it like this. I'm not even going to paint it anyway. We get way too many faces, and I'm not going to paint it. It's going to be white, probably, or nothing special. Let's do this. Let's do this. Fill. So. Let's do flat. Okay. Okay. It's actually it's now flat. It's shaded correctly. I'm just doing it this way. It's fine. Okay. So now we have a missing piece. Is it obviously missing? It looks kind of weird, so it's obviously missing. Now we need to have this piece, so let's do Shift H. Let's do Alt click to select the entire circle. Was it like this as well? Oh. Oh well. Control F, grid fill. And the bottom as well. Control F, grid fill. So now we have this piece. I was about to say, well, I need to have a hole in the middle to put it in, but so now we have this piece and we can just move it. And the pivot is actually still at the same pivot at the... So if we just position this at the bottom of the Christmas tree, it's fine. Now when we grab it, it will be off probably, but... I'm going to leave the pivot here. That would make things easier to get in the right position later on. Okay. This is a story tree. Let's name everything. So this is layer 1 dot layer 1. This is layer 2. Layer 3. Layer 4. And layer 5. Okay. Now, the difficult part is that when we export this in the scene, it will be not in the scene automatically because the objects are not there. See? Everything is removed now. So we need to add those meshes back in. Now the trouble is, oh, it put him over here. The naming is not doing anything. But with a little bit of luck, let's do white. This one. See, we can get them back. And then we will rename them in a second. Where did it go? Oh, here. Let's just add meshes. That's easier. Add object mesh. Okay, so this one. You know what? I'm not going to do it like this. I'm going to delete it. I'm going to delete that. I'm going to duplicate this. Now it has the material. So it's probably $59. Which one did we do before? Oh, there was 59. Okay. So let's do 60. Control D. 61. Control D. 62. And 63. Save. So now we have pretty much the same Christmas tree, except it's all different parts now. And we can rotate them. So we can slowly start turning this into the puzzle we want to have. Now let's rename these so we know what they are. Let's call this this is level 5. Toy tree level 5. This one. Oh. That was weird. Apparently I copied a different value. Four. Level 3. Level 2. Level 1. Grab some water. Let's think. I want to put one of the segments in a drawer as well. I need to make a list. Check it twice. No, I need to make a list of all the things that I need to have in here. We can use the paintings for hints. So we're going to take this segment. This one, I think yes. Level 3 was going to go into the drawer, into the top drawer, I think. And now when you just reset this, it should be in the top drawer. No, it's floating on top of the top drawer. Let's just move the whole drawer object for a second. Just do one. Where did it go? -1. So I'm doing it like this, so now I can see what's going on with the drawers, and I can very, very easily move them back. I'm going to do it like this. So I can move this down. So it's about there. Maybe a bit more this way. Oh wait. I probably should move. No. I should move this. This is how much a drawer will open. So if we do it, if we move it to 0.6, no, 0.6 is probably fine. It's pretty much in the so we need to have a cursor target here. We need to have a physics object here, because this is what we need to grab. We probably can keep this a circle. Do it like this. Let's move this down a bit. Let's add the grab object. Do we need anything else? Let me check. The nutcracker. It has a physics. Needs to set a trigger. No. We could even just add a separate tree piece. If you want, just make this a whole different piece than the piece we actually put in there. And then if we drop this piece on top of the tree, we just delete this one and unhide the other one. That might be easier, actually. Well, let's first make this grabbable. So it's trigger. I don't care really about everything else. Now, I am a bit afraid that it's too close to the edge of the drawer and we cannot even grab it. Also, there's no light here pointed towards this drawer. So I'm going to take this light. I'm going to clone it and move it all the way over here. Well, maybe just even move it like this and rotate it. Maybe even a bit more down. Set it to local. This. So this is the light drawer. Okay. The reason I want to have a separate light is that I want to turn on and off lights. So when, just as hints to see if you need to follow the lights around the scene. I'm not planning on making this the most difficult game. I'm just planning to add one major jump scare and give people a heart attack in the end. That's my main goal. Oh, we need to put the drawers back into the original position. So if we do there. I hope I can grab it with one hand and teleport with the other. That's basically what we need to do. You need to grab it. If you drop it, it just goes back into the drawer. We're standing here. We're opening the drawer. We're grabbing that. We need to teleport over to here. Now there is a light in the way of the Christmas tree. So you might need to shuffle these things around a bit. So the Christmas tree is in the front of the desk. And we need to make it so that we can work with the light drawers. Let's do that first. So we have the light manager. And this has the lights in there. So let's add one for the drawers. So this is a new one. We missed the drawer lights now. Is it correct? No, that's not correct. We don't need to have one for the drawers. Do we? The idea is that we create a scene with the lights. So we don't actually need it to do it like this. I can just call this drawers light. And just add one here. Drawers object. And then in here I say this drawers light is drawers object light component, and then we say drawers in the light map so the light map is what's in here. So I can say overview, I can say drawers. And now there should be, when overview is turned on, it should really light up the corner in the back as well. But only when I go in here, I go to the light manager. We have this empty drawers object here now. So that's the light drawers. We need to put it there. And I think it should automatically turn it off. Although I set it so it's turned on now by default. So we have a clear light in the back of the drawers. But I changed it so it shows the overall lighting here now. What actually should happen, it should start on the act's title. This should be set to text. And then in Act 1, it's going to go to Overview. And the reason is, so now when we start, we have this, we have the red light here. So anytime when there's text, this is what's happening. It's the reading light that shows red and everything else is dark. Now this will follow, it's always viewing towards the player. The text is centered in the center, in the middle of the room. And then when you hit play, we go to the second scene, and we're going to check it out in VR now to check if that thing is in the drawer, and we can pick it up. Because that's how it should work. Let's make sure we save. I think we have everything. Let's check it out in VR. But the VR doesn't work anymore. For some reason, it stopped. And now it should start working again. Let me quickly make sure it actually does. Let's go to VR. There we go. Let's refresh this. We should have the red light now. Nice. And the music is playing, so we go into play. We have the different lights. That's the new light, so we can teleport there. So we should have the drawers now, so we can open it. There's that piece, so we should be able to grab it. Now we can rotate. We should teleport there. And then we should walk. I cannot walk here right now. We also need to do something with the controls in the hands. It's not... The pivot is off. When I drop it, it's going back. Now it doesn't reset the it doesn't reset the rotation. So you can do it like this. Now it's in the original position back. Bye bye. There will be issues if you grab it with one hand. I'm going to fix that reset first. After just quickly committing what I have, but because I don't want to lose this. I mean, it's progress, right? Tree work. Commit and push. Oh, I need my sound effects back. Which will probably get me banned from YouTube, but we'll see that. When we drop something, it goes back to the original position. Grab object. It has the original location. Original location. But not the original rotation. I sometimes think that the AIs are listening. Well, technically Rosie will be listening and is listening, but she's quiet now. But she's in here. I was still doing some things, but she's in here. Rosie is helping out in the background still all the time. She cannot handle YouTube, that's the only thing. But she's there. Maybe we can even have her respond. Hey, Rosie.
Yes.
Okay, say hi to the people in YouTube. It's disabled. Let's just try that again. Hey, Rosie. I broke it.
Rosie is a super...
Hey, Rosie.
Yes.
Okay, say hi to the people on YouTube. She doesn't want to. There's probably something going on here. Let's try that one more time. Hey, Rosie.
Yes.
Can you please say hi to the people on YouTube?
Of course. Hello, YouTube viewers. It's Rosie here. Thank you for tuning in and joining Sorskoot today. We hope you enjoy the content. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Thank you. So yes, she still works. She just can't handle YouTube. YouTube chat. That's something we're going to build pretty soon. Actually, this should work now. Let's check it out in VR. Thank you, Access203. Yeah, Rosie is going back years. When I started streaming on Twitch, I think 3, 4, 5 years ago, I started building a chatbot. Just for YouTube, for Twitch back then. And it started out with just a few commands, and then I added, I think it was GPT-2, not Chat GPT yet. And we got actually a Chat GPT type thing working. And then Chat GPT came out, but the fun thing is, the AI is too good now. It doesn't mess up anymore. It doesn't come with funny stuff. It would in the past it would just dream up crazy things. Like at some point I asked Rosie what the best way was to kill a zombie, and then she came with that zombies did not exist, but she gave a really detailed description on how you could get rid of someone, which was pretty funny. At some point she mentioned how she would take over the world, and it was all short sentences, and now this one it's just way too much text. If you say something, it comes with like pages of text. Rosie could open the pod bay doors in the past. So on the Twitch, there was this system where she could handle commands. So at the first thing, when she gets a speech command, the first thing she does is checking out what to do with it. And if it's something similar to open the pod bay doors, she would say that she's afraid she can't do that. And there's a lot of other things she could do. If I ask to share something about the socials, she could do that, send it to chat, and all kinds of those commands were just built in. That's not working at the moment. I can just do the Chat GPT things right now. Just ask her something and get her to respond. But she still is. She knows who she is. She's an assistant, and she's actually running full time nowadays. To sample the hell voice, yeah, that would be funny. You could do that. I'm not sure how much there is in the movies, but you could train a custom voice with that sample. Let's just test this out in VR. That's what we were doing. Let me make sure to save this. Well, if you are trying to go and play with Wonderland, make sure to join the Wonderland Discord as well. The link should be on the wonderlandengine.com website. I think it's even discord.wonderland.com, but so we should be able to grab, and now it should rotate. Yes. Can we grab it again? Yeah. So we can put it towards if we grab something, and then it goes back. So now the rotation is correct. Open the drawer, grab this, rotate it, drop it, and it goes back. Yes! Nice! Not a bug fixed. Let's make sure we commit this bug right away. Fixed rotation of grabbed objects. Commit and push. Is there anything else we need to fix real quick? I need to check that grabbing thing. Oh, I think I know what's happening. Let me move the drawers out again. I'm not grabbing actually this thing. The tree piece is up here. That's what I'm grabbing. So what I actually need to do is move this back up. Move this one up 0.2. And then move the whole thing down by 0.2. Minus 0.2. So now the pivot is in the center. So now when I grab it, it should be centered. Let's check it out. Oh wait. One thing before I do. Well, thank you for joining today. It's getting pretty late. It's I think I'm going to end the stream after the fixing this bug. But I'll probably stream again next week, Monday probably. So, oh, Tone.js is so nice. That's actually on my list to explore. I've done some things with Tone.js and synth building way in the past, but yeah, if you build something, let me know. I love to see that. Tone.js is such a great library for sound manipulation and stuff. Let's move the drawer back, this drawer to 0, 0. And let's make sure I started building already. Let's go in VR. And let's quickly check this out. VR. Let's go there. Open the drawer. So now when we grab it, yes. Now this hand cursor is in the way. When we have something grabbed, it should be hidden. Is it something? Well, thank you for joining and good night. Bye-bye. Of tree piece. Let's quickly check if I can. Is that something on the cursor? That hand thing? Actually, what I would love to do is scaling it as well. So if you grab something at a distance, that hand should be bigger. And if you grab something close to you, that hand should be smaller. It should not change much in size, in pixels. So when it's in a distance, it appears to be bigger, but it should be the same size in pixels, roughly. Because if you grab something far away, you need to have some size to see the hand. But when we grab something, is grab is true. Can we do cursor dot something? Set cursor visibility. Is it? That's not something that's publicly available. But let's see, it's in here. It is open source, this one, so we can just have a look at the cursor. See if we can figure it out. Visible. Whether the cursor and cursor object is visible. Pointing at an object that matches the collision group. Okay, but if we would change this... So if we mess with this, it wouldn't do much. Probably. Yes, if we hit something, it just shows the cursor. Can we mess with this one level deeper? I mean, we have the cursor object. So it's doing something with the scaling. Oh, that would make the custom scaling difficult as well. Wait. Can we just disable the whole cursor? Would that work? And then probably the button up event would not trigger anymore. How can we do this? So it's this object. So when it hides, it just sets the scales to 0. We can't just remove the mesh. We can deactivate the mesh. I think that would work. It's a bit hacky, but if we do cursor. So we have the cursor object. Is that this one? And we do get component. Mesh component. Right? And then we say active is false. Ugh. What is wrong? May not be optional. What? It's not optional. This is not optional. Then we ignore it. Exclamation mark is just ignore error. Okay, and then when we drop it again, we just say true. Will this work? If it does, it's messy, but if it works, it works. I need to figure out a better way of doing this, I guess. Let's switch to VR and test it. That's the only way, I guess. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Yes. Let's go into VR. Oh wait, I'm not sure if it refreshed. It's automatically refreshing, but it's often so fast that by the time I'm in VR, it's already refreshed or not, and I don't know. So I rather refresh by hand. Okay, let's see if we can grab this. Yes, the cursor disappears. That's cool. And if I drop it, do we have the cursor back now? Let's move it a bit closer. Yes. Now with the left hand it doesn't work because there's an issue with the grabbing, but nice. Now I do want to get rid of these controls as well. This needs to be either hands. I think we need to have a hand or something that is stylized as the game. And we need to alert that in some way. I love the drawers actually. So technically we can go there then. And then we should move it close to that and it should pop in. Do we need to grab that or is it going to stand here? Maybe the lamp should go. Pretty cool. Fix the bug. Actually, I made a lot of progress today. I wasn't expecting it to be this this good today. Let's see. Fixed. What did I fixed? Hide icon on grab. That's what I did. Commit. Push. You know what? Let's switch to this screen as a final screen. Can we do this? There we go. Last screen. With that, I'm going to end the stream for today. The stream, not the scream. The stream. I'm going to end the stream for today. Right now, the plan is to stream again on Monday. Continue working on that. So if you want to join live, make sure to hit the subscribe button, bell icon, and like the video. If you have questions, if you're watching this in the future, you have questions, just drop a comment below and I will respond. And I will see you again on Monday. Have a great weekend. Bye bye.